Hey, it's BenInBeta, and I'm being completely lit by the Reolink TrackFlex security camera and floodlight. If you're like most homeowners or business owners, you want some security. You want to be able to see what's going on, and you might want to deter people from doing bad things. But often the subscription costs are too high or the technology just doesn't work right. Well, Reolink sent me their TrackFlex security camera and light combination to try. So as you can see, it's quite bright. It's 3,000 lumens. The ultra wide camera is a 4K camera that's super crisp, and the other camera is a 1080p camera that can zoom in up to 6 times, track subjects, and make sure you catch all the details. The light can go all the way from a daylight light, like what I have now, down to 3,000 lumens to make it a little bit more soft, if that's what you're looking for as well. It can track humans, pets, vehicles, and just general motion, and it does it really well. And everything is stored locally on the camera itself. And using PIR sensors, it can even detect motion outside of where it's looking and then go check out what's going on. That's pretty cool as well. It's also got a 110 decibel siren if you want to set that up, and it's Wi-Fi 6 compatible, meaning it's 5 gigahertz and 2.4. That means you get really quick streams at high quality. It can also be used as part of the greater Reolink ecosystem where it links to other devices, and it can store video to Reolink's NVR system where you can have multiple cameras all storing videos to the same device. It also has lots of great options for night vision, whether it's color or black and white. But what that means for you is you'll get crystal clear video even at night. Even if you don't turn that floodlight on, you should still get a really good picture. You can choose whether you want that on or not, which is another great feature. So let's talk about what you get with the Reolink system and what installation's like, and then what it's like to set up the application as well. All right, we're gonna set this up. So Reolink also sent me a 64 gigabyte SD card, and in the box, you get the unit itself, and it is pretty easy to hook up. I've done a couple of these before, so they're pretty nice in terms of how they work. This back part comes off. There's even a level in here to help you level it out. And then there's actually a wiring harness to wire everything up with just a small little screwdriver. You've got your harness here, which is going to connect up to the wires that are in my light, which is up here behind me. There it is. That's where we're going to go. So this is really simple, and it's got a little harness also to kind of hang it on here like this while you wire everything up. There's also a kit in here for the screws and everything like that, but that's really all it is. So if you're comfortable with doing a little bit of electrical work, this is really simple. They made it very, very easy. And then what you've got on here is your light system, which is adjustable up and down, left and right. And then you've got your box of goodies, and that includes your instructions for setup, all the tools you need, which are screwdrivers, a marker, power drill, a ladder potentially. I've got something there, and then your power adapter. The power adapter and everything is to set up the camera before you kind of get things set up and ready to go. You do need a SD card of some type, or you need their hub to be able to connect everything up. Now, I don't have one of their hubs yet. Maybe in the future I will do that, because once you get multiple cameras, it's kind of nice to have the hub for storing all the video. But for now, we'll just use the 64 gig card and see how it works. I do want to point out that Reolink did send this to me, and there will be future videos. So make sure you subscribe to see that video and more for all kinds of different DIYing, other tech-related videos, overlanding, detailing, lots of different stuff. My channel is about beta testing things, and that's what we're doing here today. So it's time to get everything set up, but the first thing you actually have to do is connect to the camera first and power it via USB-C before you do anything else. And you also are going to want to put in that SD card here. So we're going to do that first. So on the bottom of the camera, there is this waterproof port that holds the SD card slot and the USB-C port. And that's what we're going to do right now. There's also the reset button in there if you have to start over from scratch at some point. So you might be wondering why I'm wearing gloves. And it's actually for the next stage when I get up there by the stucco. The last time I installed something like this in the back of the house, I cut my hand open on just the rough stucco. So I don't want to do that this time. Plus it does make it easier to hang on to things. But I'm going to go ahead and install that SD card in the bottom here right away. And these only go in one way. So that'll be ready. And now I'm going to hook up the USB-C to connect it to the app. I've already downloaded the app, and I will try to record everything on there so I can throw that up on the screen as we do things. So I've already downloaded the application at this point, and now we need to get it hooked up to the unit itself. Signing in was easy. I just used my Google account and I was good to go from there. So far, I'm really liking how easy this is. But the next step is to plug this in and then go ahead and set it up. So let's do that. All right, so it just so happens that I have a pretty long USB-C cable here. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on top of this box right here and go ahead and plug it in. And let's see.
Welcome to Reolink. Please install Reolink app and scan the QR code on the camera.
So my dog doesn't like that very much, but we're gonna go ahead and scan for the unit here. So my camera's being used right now because of this app, so I'm gonna have to stop recording my screen really quick. Went ahead and did that. So now we're gonna configure Wi-Fi via Bluetooth. We've already done that part. It's still talking to me. It's asking me to listen for the voice prompts, which I have done. So now we're connecting to the device and hopefully it'll stop talking soon. There we go, which it has. And now we just gotta choose the right Wi-Fi to connect to. So I'm gonna switch my Wi-Fi network really quickly. Now it's asking me to create an admin set of passwords. I'm gonna format the SD card, so all that stuff's happening right now. I know I'm not recording this, but I probably should be. So claim your extra 6-month warranty for free. I guess we'll go ahead and do that. So initialization is complete, and now we have to install the floodlight. And it'll walk me through all those steps, but I got the other light off first. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll be ready to put this thing on. But it's already hooked up and ready to go. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and get that light off of there, and then we'll install it. All right, we're all done installing the Reolink TrackFlex camera system. So installation overall was pretty easy. Everybody's wiring is gonna be a little bit different, but it all got in there just fine. I used wiring nuts and I used a little bit bigger ones than the ones that came with it. That might be something that you might wanna look into. But again, everybody's installation is a little bit different. The setup in the app was super easy and there's a ton of settings. All the video is crystal clear. The tracking capabilities are really, really good. It tracks from one side of my house all the way to the other, and I'm pretty impressed with that. We're gonna try the time-lapse setting here in a little bit on my car because it needs to be washed, and just see how that works and see what kind of video I get from that. I'm kind of excited about that as another option for my detailing channel as well. But the big thing is I now have a better view of what's going on in front of my garage, especially now that I often have to park outside because of the trailer, or the trailer will be parked out here, and I just want to make sure that that is safe and secure. Sometimes packages get dropped off here at my garage door, and that's another thing that would be nice to know because I can't see that from the cameras that are over by the doorbell. Now I plan to do some update videos on my entire system to try to walk you through the pluses and minuses of the different cameras, but this one's really impressive. It was easy to install. It has a ton of features for a good price. You don't have to pay for a cloud subscription, and that's pretty awesome. So far, the local AI models of identifying things have been really good. I will do an update video on this when I install the next Reolink camera that they're gonna send me, and that'll give you a better idea of how it's performing over time, what the notifications are like, that kind of thing. So far, they've been pretty good. Let me know in the comments what questions you have about this system so that I can answer those. The camera kind of looks like WALL-E when it's looking at you, which is kind of fun. Well, installation went pretty well overall, and the app is generally pretty easy to use. But what are my final thoughts on this system? So let me give you my final thoughts on the system. But before I do that, I do have links in the description for you to be able to pick up one of these lights if you want to do that. And in fact, you saw in the product cards a QR code, which will take you there immediately. Those links do help my channel and I appreciate that too. So let's get to final thoughts. Honestly, for the price, I thought the hardware was really good. The 4K camera is really crisp and clear, and even that 1080p camera is super clear and it zooms in really well. It tracks motion really well. It is a little bit jerky at times, but overall, pretty darn solid. It did a great job with AI detection right out of the box, maybe even too good as it kept detecting my vehicle in the driveway, but it detects people quickly, it tracks them well, and it can do pets and motion. It also has some other cool features like the time-lapse feature, which I liked quite a bit, and it's gonna be helpful when I'm detailing vehicles to be able to just use that feature as another angle to my videos, which is pretty cool as well. And that feature worked better than I even thought it was going to. It actually tracked what I was doing, which I thought was pretty cool too. Best of all though, because you record everything locally, you don't have to do any kind of subscriptions if you don't want to. And if you go with their NVR system, you can record multiple devices to a much bigger hard drive, which is great too, and you can encrypt your video. So a couple quirks and things to watch out for. The camera tracks people really well. It's just a little bit jerky at times, but that's something that can be smoothed out with a software update. In fact, I got a software update in the middle of the day and I haven't even had a chance to see how that's impacted the performance, but I will do update videos to show kind of how things go over time. The other thing I would say with installation, I wish the wires were just a little bit longer. It makes installation just that much easier. For people who don't have multiple lights, feeding it into their system is going to be much easier because you can just do a 1-to-1, and that's actually really awesome. For my setup, I had to use wire nuts, but it worked just fine. I got it up there and it's up there really well now. One other small quirk is if you're going to hook this up to other systems like Google Home, it was really easy for me to be able to do that, but there is a setting that you have to enable after that connection is made to make sure that your video actually gets into the Home app. But now that it's all connected, I can control the light through Google Home as well as see what's going on with the camera, which is pretty cool. One other area of improvement that I would give for Reolink would be to try to move their settings for alarms, notifications, all that kind of stuff into one area. They're in multiple areas now, and it can be a little confusing to try to find all the ones you're looking for. I think it was underneath one tab. It'd be easier for the user. That's just how I feel. I think this is a great product for you to be able to pick up. Between the massive floodlight, the dual cameras, the excellent tracking, you really can't go wrong with this setup. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the floodlight. I'd love to know. Also, if you have questions, drop those in as well and I can answer them. Also, remember to beta test something new like I did today with this product and share what you learned with somebody you care about. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.